Everybody, and welcome to the very first demonstration for the Vision Layers updates to some amazing indie tabletop RPGs. So today we're going to focus on TimeWatch, published by Pelgrane Press and created by Kevin Kulp. And I just wanted to give you a quick little demonstration of the version A that is going to be made available to backers of the Kickstarter. At this point in time, due to a lot of difficulty, getting the way that I set up this file to include a dyslexia friendly font, I'm going to have to go back and basically redo this thing again from scratch. So until that time, I wanted to make sure that there was something to give everybody because I know there is getting to be some demand for these things to start coming out. So for this demonstration, I am using a Mac and I'm using Adobe Acrobat Pro. If you are using any other PDF reading software that allows for layers, yours will have their own little buttons, their own little functions and everything. But this is a basic general walkthrough. So let's go to a full page view. Now, as you can see, I wanted to make sure that there is a very noticeable marker on there that this is the Vision Layers version of it because it's not always compatible with everyone's PDF reader. So let's go first over here. Now, one of the main differences that is from the original PDF is that any actual green font, so for example, where it has the author's name here, that originally was in green. The only way to be able to change that, because that can be difficult for some people with certain forms of print disabilities involving color, like color blindness, I wanted to remove it completely. But it's not possible to really do it as a separate layer without making it very, very cumbersome for the user. So the decision was made to simply change all green fonts into black for greater accessibility. Now, when you click on the layers function, you will see that everything has been stacked up in a very nice and easy to use way. So here we have the original text file, and this can be turned right off and be replaced with an easier to read final version. And this is one where it's, as you can see, like if we take a look, the table of contents, this kind of font is something that can be quite difficult for some people to read because of how it's all pressed together. Whereas if that's too much for you, you can just simply switch it over to here and it's much easier to read. Every single page on here, the text is exactly the same. So any page, any version of page 348 will have the same amount of text on it. So it's easier to reference. This way, if you've got different people at the table that have different versions, open on theirs, you can still give the same page reference for convenience. Now let's also take a look. Oops. Now you want to make sure, as you can see, that you only have one text layer on at a time. And then let's go to here where we've got this one and this. We turn that off. And that's a little something right there I clearly have to fix, but check this out. Boop. Grayscale. There we go. Every single page has a grayscale version. So if color is something that gives you some difficulty, you can't see certain hues or just all together in general, you can just turn the color right off and everything appears in grayscale. Now, one of the other things with this PDF is that it is screen reader compatible and every single page is screen readable. It has been tested. There may still be some little glitches, so if you do find any in there, please let us know, because as I mentioned before, this is just a preliminary version of it that I wanted to get out to backers. I am going to be working on updating this in the future in order to include dyslexia-friendly fonts and a few other little touches as well. But that, as you can see, is a far more accessible version of TimeWatch from Pelgrane Press.